Hello there YouTube, it's me OneGamer13 and I am here with a brand new video for the internet. Yes, it's me. I have not been dead for these past 2 weeks of summer vacation, or at least for some regions of the world. Though I believe the majority of schools are out by this time, and hooray for summer. Now, first off, I do plan on making more videos for the summer time span. Gosh, I have to freaking mess up on the first video I make for summer. But anyways, this video, as you probably could have seen by the title, I am going to be talking about my thoughts on Fallout 4, and for this video I'm going to be talking about what I think they have done with the leveling system, and more specifically the skill system in Fallout 4 from what we are able to gather from a couple of screenshots they took of the gameplay footage that they showed at the Bethesda E3. Gosh darn it, I feel like I keep messing up. But anyways, here's the first screenshot, and I just wanted to point out a couple of things, such as the basic system information on the Pip-Boy. Apparently this is version 7.1.0.8. I don't know why, I just find that kind of interesting. Apparently there's approximately 3.9 megabytes, kilobytes of free space on it. Wow, that's not too much actually. Wow. No holotape found, blah 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 blah. I'm just rambling on about nonsensical things. So let's skip on over to the main status screen of the Pip-Boy. By the way, I also love the new look of the Pip-Boy. More compact and more easy to manage, I suppose. It looks cleaner instead of a clunkier one. So, as you can see the player name at the bottom. What I suppose is the current gun strength, maybe current weapon strength, right there, the 18. Probably the radiation resistance and energy, some type of energy. I'm not too sure. And in the video that was presented, a lot of the Vault Boy images were animated, which I actually quite love that they're animated this time around. So level 1, nice little leveling bar, HP and AP. Though something that you can notice up in the stats option, it says status, special, and perks. There is no skill option, which I find kind of interesting. Why would they get rid of, or at least not show, any skill tab unless they have revamped it in the attempt to make it better? Let me find the right images. I think I'll just stay on this one for right now. I'll try to do this quick. I don't want this video to seem like it's rambling on. So, something else you might have noticed is that down at the bottom it says A for Stimpak, X for Right Away, and Y for Perk Chart. Why would they have a perk chart? I also find it kind of interesting that they bothered to show the special tab and how all the different attributes actually affect your character kind of differently. And probably in hopes of making it so that intelligence isn't like the go-to option to get the most out of a character. Now, I'm still fascinated by the option of perk chart and the fact that they did not show us the perk tab. Now, I have a theory on this, is that they have kind of merged the skills tabs with the perk tab and gotten rid of like the little skill point system, such as in the intelligence tab it just says intelligence is a measure of your overall mental acuity and affects the number of experience points earned. It does not say anything about skill points, which leads me to believe that skill points have been effectively eliminated in Fallout 4. which could be a good thing or a bad thing. Now, as a lot of you might already know, skill points were kind of, in my opinion, a bit weird how they functioned in games such as Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, where, for example, science skill and computer hacking, it was like you need 25 of this skill or higher to do this, or you need 50 or higher, or 75 or higher, or 100 in order to hack these terminals. Instead of ranges such as like 0 to 25, 25 to 50, 50 to 75, 75 to 100 to hack these terminals. No, there are specific values or more. Which leads me to believe that in the new game, they have just made it so that it's like rank 1 of science, rank 2 of science, rank 3 of science. And to support my theory, these images of the footage of them messing around with the gun customization, and down in the bottom right corner you could see required rank 2 of science and required rank 1 of gun nut. Now, this helps support my theory in that they have gotten rid of putting skill points into a certain skill to improve them and just made it rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, rank 4, and possibly rank 5. To kind of line up with the 25, 50, 75, 100 that they had in every other game. Which I think that kind of helps it, because I remember being extremely annoyed at going up to a terminal, trying to hack it, and it says I need like 75 to do it. I pop over to my Pip-Boy for a few moments and find that I have 74. And I would have to wait a whole nother level to do that one terminal, and I might forget it, which really annoyed me. And this might help clean it up just by giving it rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. So back to my earlier mention of the perk chart option. Now, this could either be like a pie chart or a column chart. Not sure those are the official terms for those, but it gets my point across. Now, what I propose is that every time you level up, you're given like so many options of like increase science, increase strength, increase blah 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 blah. Like, it'll probably be like you get to increase these certain... how do I put it? Why the frick can I not think today? Like, you get to choose what you want to advance. Like, you'll probably be given like a section that says increase, like, if you increase your science, you also get the perk of Math Whiz or something, or increase gun nut and you get like increase gun nut to maximum and you get like gun handling or something like that. That could be very interesting. But it could also be bad in that certain perks are locked off. But then again, it was similar in something like Fallout New Vegas, where it said you need survival of 45 to get this perk, or you need sneak of 75 to get ninja perk. So it probably won't be too much different. It'll just look and work a tiny bit different. It'll probably work more efficiently now that you don't need just vague numbers such as like, why did I call them vague? You don't need specific numbers like 45, 35, 25, 75.25605. I like the number 5 a lot this episode, apparently. So I feel like it can help it work a bit better and not frustrate so many people. Now, what else did I want to say? What else did I want to say? Oh yeah, I remember. Like, a lot of people say, like, I was watching a video earlier before this recording, and this video was talking about how Skyrim had the best leveling system by using something to improve its effectiveness. Now, I have to say, that is kind of a very interesting way of leveling up an object. Like if you're trying to roleplay as a guy who only uses swords, you increase your sword skill naturally just by using it. But there comes a downfall with that system, where like you could just stand in the middle of the field and spam a healing spell over and over and over to practically max out your magic skill and also reach like level 35 and go on the second mission of the main story. It's very easy to abuse those types of leveling systems, and it also deters people away from experimenting with other types of skills. For example, like, I never touched enchanting, smelting, or alchemy in the game. I never touched those because I didn't know how they were going to play out, and I realized in order to get any good with them, I would have to spend hours perfecting the skill by just repeating it over and over and over. Now, imagine for the science skill in Fallout, you had to constantly keep hacking a terminal or talk techno lingo with a robot over and over and over. Or for the sneak skill, you could just sit crouched in the shadow in a populated area and it would say, sneak skill increased to 75, sneak skill increased to 76, sneak skill increased to 77, just because you're standing in the shadow crouched in the populated area. It would be very easy to abuse those systems. Now, here's a little story of mine from the second time I turned on, or was it the first time I turned on Skyrim, and I was aware of the abuse like used to increase skills. So what I did was that I equipped, like you were in that room where you're staying with that guy right after you got your hands unbound. So what I did was I equipped like a fire spell and equipped a sword, and I just kept attacking the guy over and over and over. He would not die, so I just kept spamming the attack with sword and attack with spell until I was like level 7 or something, and I completely wrecked everything in my way. So yeah, it's really easy to abuse those systems, especially if you find a loophole like I did, with an NPC that would never get angry at you and would always stay alive because he was labeled as essential. So, my hopes for Fallout 4 leveling system, I hope they keep it the same in the sense of when you level up, you get to choose a couple of perks to improve your character. Now, I do not hope for it to turn out like Skyrim where it's used to improve. I kind of don't like that. It's interesting in some aspects, but it also ruins it in other aspects, such as, for example, in Skyrim, I had no idea how to level up my speech skill, and it would randomly pop up on screen, your speech has increased, and I'm just sitting there wondering how I increased it. Whereas in Fallout, you just do all sorts of tasks from like killing raiders to hunting rad scorpions to bartering with people to increase your skill point, to increase your experience points to level up, to increase whatever skills you decide to spend your level on. Now, one last theory I have for the level up system is that when you level up, it might act like how you choose those traits in the beginning of Fallout New Vegas, where it's like you pick out good-natured, wild wasteland, or stuff like that. You get 3 options. Now, what I suppose is that during the level up, when you're given the options of what you can choose, you get to choose 3 of them, and you can't pour all 3 into one option. Where like you choose level up your science, level up your gun, and level up your sneak for like your first level up. That might be interesting. That might be pretty good in terms of gameplay. And I would quite like that. And maybe you could get like a perk, or maybe something happens in the storyline or something that allows you to choose 4 different attributes per level, and you can hopefully become a more powerful character through that route. But I also hope that they do not make it so that you just become like a demigod by the end of the game, able to vaporize anything in your path while also being able to smooth talk your way out of any other conflict you just don't want to be bothered with. because I remember all too often I became so powerful in Fallout New Vegas or Fallout 3, I can't remember which one, that I think it was Fallout New Vegas, that I literally just went to the quarry and just shot and killed every Deathclaw in my path. I got so bored, I was so overpowered, I decided I'm going to go hunt the toughest monster in the video game. And I could literally just walk through the quarry section shooting everything in my path, and none of them could get close to me for how powerful I was. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that they keep it so that there's always some resemblance of a challenge. You can't just level up to the point where you're unstoppable. You need some level of challenge. Now, I feel like I've been rambling for way too long. Holy crap, I think that says 16 minutes. Wow, I need to finish this video. So, down in the comments section, tell me what are the things you want me to talk about. Maybe certain aspects of video games. Maybe some more on Fallout 4. Maybe you want me to talk about how the crafting system and customization system might work. Maybe you want me to talk about how the speech and dialogue systems might work in Fallout 4. I hope for good responses and interesting ideas to talk about in my next video. And I hope to make this series, Let's Talk About, into a series that people like and people love to suggest new ideas for stuff to talk about. And it doesn't just have to pertain to video games, but personally I would prefer to pertain to video games. I don't want to start talking about politics or something, because that'll bore me straight out of making the video. So, I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope it got you all thinking about the possibility of a new and improved Fallout 4 leveling system. Suggest what you want me to talk about in the future. And I hope to see you all later.